Hi everyone, Bruno Recommends Records here again, and today I'm finally doing my long due video about my February acquisitions. So firstly, I'm going to show some records that I acquired from only one seller. This seller is a Portuguese friend of mine. He only uses Facebook. I leave his link down below. So if you're searching for something related with Portuguese artists from the 70s, 60s, 80s, or Brazilian artists, or editions that are related with Italian prog or Eastern prog, just check him out. Usually the best stuff flies really fast, so keep an eye on it if you're interested, because he has the best prices ever and is very flexible. So if you want something that he doesn't have, just open a message with him and try to see if he can get it. Is quite reliable. So let's start with this. I acquired three records from the same artist, which is a Portuguese singer called Amália Rodrigues, and she sings a very specific genre in Portugal called fado, and she is like our queen, she's like our muse, and for a long, long time she was like the spokesperson in terms of culture for Portugal, starting from the mid 40s, 50s, 60s onwards. And she has an amazing voice. Even if you're like not into this kind of music, let's consider this a specific type of Portuguese traditional folk music. This is amazing. Her voice is just heavenly, okay? This is a reissue, actually. This album is called Fado Português, Fado being the specific genre I was talking about, and so translated is Portuguese Fado. And curiously, her first pressings until a certain point in time, usually they're from UK, the mono versions and all that stuff. So I'm interested in getting a mono version of this, but at the moment it's still on my waiting list. For now, this is more than enough for me. I think this is the first Portuguese pressing, which came a little bit later. So this record was firstly released in 1967 as a mono UK, but this is the Portuguese stereo reissue from 1987 from Columbia Records, which is exactly the same label. Here's the back. Oh, and I bought specifically this one because there's a song in here called I Moraria, which is related to a street in Lisbon. And this was like the first song I ever learned to sing when I was a kid, let's say 4 or 5 years old, something like that, because I used to, whenever I would visit my grandma from my mom's part, she used to sing in the kitchen while she was cooking, and I was little, sitting in the floor with my toys or drawing, because I always loved drawing. And I remember watching her singing this song. So before I heard this song for the first time by Amália Rodrigues, I heard my grandma's version and I learned all the lyrics from her singing. And to be honest with you, this song is so special to me that I can listen to it without crying the whole song. But that doesn't stop me to listen to it. So that was the main reason why I acquired this record. It's not the original version, because the original version, I think it's from 1945, and it's like a 78 RPM shellac, and those ones are quite expensive and hard to get. Okay, this is the record. There you go. And next one, still the same artist, as I told you, Amália Rodrigues, and this is her concert in Paris or Paris or Paris, and it's called Amália on Olympia, which is a very famous place, obviously. This is a Portuguese stereo reissue from 1980 on Columbia Records. Original was released on Columbia Records as well in UK, but in 1957 and with a total different cover. I think this is actually not the first Portuguese pressing. I think this is already a reissue, but I think it's the same cover for the Portuguese edition. There you go. I'll keep this one. This one I'm gonna keep it. The other one, if I get the mono version, probably I'll get rid of it. But for now, that's it. So here's the record. The records are in amazing shape. That was one of the reasons why I acquired them, because I didn't have anything from Amalia, to be honest with you, because this was the kind of music when I was a kid that my grandpa and my grandma used to listen to it. So yeah, when you are a kid or a teenager, you don't go for these kind of stuffs, and when you start like getting a little bit in your adult phase, you start appreciating all the stuff that you never appreciated before. This is a compilation, so this is a Portuguese first pressing. This is the very first pressing of this. It's a double record called O Melhor da Amália, Estranha Forma de Vida. Translated is The Best of Amália, Weird Kind of Life. And this brings, basically, if you want to, let's see, my grandma has some pictures that look like that. And there you go, a most kind of recent picture. And it comes with 2 inserts with the lyrics. There's some small stains in here, but I'm fine with it because the records are, I'm going to be honest, near mint. So I'm only showing you one because the labels are practically identical. This is a 1985 double stereo on Columbia. Next one, another of those artists that it was like the kind of music that my grandma, grandpa, or even my mom and dad used to listen to it. And this is like Portuguese male singer called Vitorino. He has a brother which is an artist. I think he has 2 brothers that also, they are musicians, but he's the most well-known of the brothers. And this album, as you can see, you have like the boat from the conquistadors era, which is a very special thing for us Portuguese, although it's related with colonization, let's say, but another subject, not for today. And this has like one song that became one of the songs. I don't know, it's like that kind of cliche of being an immigrant on a foreign country, and sometimes when you miss home, and whenever I listen to this song, it doesn't make me cry, but it kind of makes me in that mood, if you know what I mean. So here's the guy with a very Portuguese mustache like me, as you can see. This is an amazing record, actually. So it comes with an insert with the lyrics, and this came out on EMI. It's a 1983 Portuguese and only release on vinyl, so you can't go wrong with this one. This is the only version on vinyl that exists. Next, I'm gonna show you another Portuguese artist. This is a band called Brigada Vitor Jara. And Vitor Jara was a Chilean artist that was shot, I think, by political reasons. And these guys are into the political theme, a little bit towards the lefty side, because for those who don't know, we had 40 years of a fascist dictatorship in Portugal until 1974. This is post-dictatorship, this record, it's from 1977, but there was still this kind of folk traditional Portuguese music, very revolutionary and on the side of the working class. So these guys are related to that, but this record by itself, if you put the political side aside, is a very folk world music, brilliant album. They have much more records, but this is the first one. I don't know which specific edition this is, because it's really hard to know. I don't know if this is a very first pressing or the second, third, or fourth, but anyway, came out on a label called Mundo Novo, and it's a Portuguese OG from 1977, because the other re-editions are all from 1977, related with this specific cover and this specific label. Next, still from that friend of mine, and this is the last one I ordered, and this is Janus, a prog rock Italian band. This record is really hard to find. This was the reason why I'm only doing now my February acquisitions video, and I have a specific video only about this record. So check it out. I'll leave the link down below if you want to know about this record and this band. I'm not going to go into any details on this video. Now, I ordered 3 more records in February, which were this one. This is a Spanish band called Gilipollas. This is their second record from 2024, if I'm not wrong. Let me check. Yes, 2024. This record is not as good as the first one. I also have the first one, and this was almost Christmas gift, but the seller related with that buy, he was quite shit, excuse my French, and the record was never delivered, but he ended up giving back the money. But it was quite stressful, and later on February finally found someone on UK selling a copy, because this is very hard to find, and I'm really glad I did it, because I love this band. Like I told you, not as good as their first record. They mix a lot of stuff, like heavy stuff, not too heavy like heavy rock, more alternative. They mixed with funk, jazz, reggae, whatever you can imagine, and they're brilliant musicians. This trio is amazing. I'm wishing for them to come to London one of these days, but I don't believe that's going to happen, at least so soon. Most probably they will finish the project before that, which is a shame. And here's the record. And this one came on, this is a collaboration between Metales Preciosos Música y Discos, which is a Spanish label, and Universal Music Spain. This is the only release on vinyl that exists, at least until now, and I totally advise you guys to check this band. The other record I bought, I wasn't aware that this existed on vinyl, and this is one of my favorite records from the 90s. I'm talking about Cold. This is their first self-titled album. They've a very unknown band, let's say, and these guys, to define their sound, is a little bit like the new metal approach to a gothic kind of style, let's say. Their songs are usually around the same chord progression. At the first listening might sound a little bit monotonous or boring, but the songs are so good by themselves. And on February, I found out that they'll finally put out this on vinyl. So this is the European limited edition release by Music on Vinyl, A&M Records, and Universal Music. Originally, it was released only on CD in 1997, which was the version I heard when this came out. Here you have the record. And if you like that kind of gothic kind of vibe, even if you don't like that bit of new metal related they have, they're not like new metal with hip hop or something like that. It's more in terms of the production. Unfortunately, they went really commercial after this one. Check them out. My last acquisition on February was a 7-inch. Usually I don't buy 7 inches. I'm very lazy, let's say. But I had to get this one. This one is a band, a UK band, that only put out one record and only on CD. So I really love the song from this 7-inch, and I prefer to have it on vinyl, because this is the only song I really know about these guys. And the first time I heard it, it was on this movie called It's All Gone, Pete Tong. It's a fictional movie about this DJ who loses his hearing, and then he has to manage to find a way of feeling the vibrations and the waves that come out from the speakers, and then he manages to do what is considered the most amazing album ever for dance music. It's a very funny movie and a very good movie. And the soundtrack is much dance music, but there are like a few tracks that I really love from that soundtrack, and being this one of them. It's a UK OG 7-inch single that comes on this transparent red. It's from EMI and was put out on 2005. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and by the end of this week I might put out the video related with my March acquisitions. See you soon.